Thank you. I'm now calling the Tuesday, April 21st, 2026 regular meeting of the Los Altos Hills County Fire District Board of Commissioners to order. The time is 7:05 p.m. Please note we're conducting a hybrid meeting, which allows staff and members of the public to attend this meeting via virtual teleconference. The hybrid meeting will be video recorded and posted on our website, and because we are video conferencing, we will follow a strict protocol for the benefit of this recording. I will indicate when commissioners, staff, presenters, and the public will provide comments. And if you've called into the meeting and are not using a webcam, please state your name prior to providing your comments. If you're making public comments and have questions of the presenter or the commission, please address your questions to me, the board president, and I will respond and seek a response or hold the question for a future meeting. Please practice considerate video conferencing etiquette by muting your line when you're not speaking and limiting distracted behavior on camera. District Clerk Vargas, please conduct a roll call.
Okay. Commissioners, I will be conducting all roll calls this evening in the same order. Please remember the order so that you are prepared to provide your comments or vote. President Spreen.
Here.
Okay. Commissioner Basigi.
Here.
Sorry, Vice President McDonald.
Here.
Commissioner Tonka. Commissioner Tyson.
Here.
Commissioner Warren.
Here.
Commissioner Kadambi. I got this out of order. Thank you. Okay, there are 6 commissioners present. And for the benefit of the recording, I will also conduct a presenters, consultants, and staff roll call. Santa Clara County Fire Department Fire Chief Kirkhow.
Here.
Thank you. Santa Clara County Fire Safe Council CEO Chalet.
Present.
Okay. Municipal Resource Group Strategic Planning Consultant Scott.
Here.
Community Education Risk Reduction Manager Gluhan.
Present.
Programs Planning Grants Manager Woods.
Present.
Technical Analyst Project Manager Cronin.
I am here.
Project Operations Manager Russell.
Present.
General Analyst Georgie.
Present.
Field Manager Harmon. That sounded like yes. Okay. Technical Data Analyst Martinez.
Present.
Project Manager Administration Revelar.
Here.
Project Manager Risk Reduction King Rob.
Here.
Community Risk Reduction Specialist Stoksick.
Present.
IHFR Specialist Nazarova.
Here.
Operations and Administrative Manager Fairman.
Present.
Finance and IT Manager Moriali.
Present.
General Manager Logan.
Present.
And Deputy County Counsel Jackson.
Present.
All right. Presenters, consultants, and staff are accounted for.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We'll move on to item 2, the commission president remarks. I'll just say thank you for those who came out in the rain here today to be here. This agenda is kind of looks fairly straightforward, but it's one of those, it really is just the tip of the iceberg meetings where all the work that's gone on during the month doesn't always get reflected in what we actually talk about here. So my thanks to all the stuff going on and the stuff in the consent calendar, which sort of reflects what's been going on with all the staff, and also thank you for all of that. But let's move on to item 3, public comment. Persons wishing to address the commission on any subject not on the agenda may do so now. Please note, however, the commission is not able to undertake extended discussion or action tonight on items not on the agenda. Items may be referred to staff for appropriate action, which may include placement on the next available agenda. District policy is to limit public testimony to 3 minutes per speaker, unless the number of speakers requires me to impose shorter time limits. Do we have any public comments? I don't see any here in the building.
And I am seeing none online.
Great. In that case, we'll move on to item 4, agenda amendments and changes. And I do actually have one this time. I'd like to note there's a correction to the posted agenda for item 12D. The effective date of the agreement is misstated as April 21st, 2026, and the correct effective date is April 27th, 26, which is reflected in the agreement in the agenda packet, but it's a clerical correction only for the agenda and does not affect the commission's consideration of the item. But we will have to entertain a vote just to approve that change of the agenda in a second. Are there any comments from staff on the other changes to this agenda? Not expecting any. In that case, let's entertain if I can entertain a motion to acknowledge the correction to the posted agenda.
Warren moves to make the correction to the agenda.
McDonald seconds.
Thank you very much. Let's have a roll call.
All right. President Spreen.
Yes.
Vice President McDonald.
Yes.
Commissioner Basigi.
Yes.
Commissioner Kadambi.
Yes.
Commissioner Tyson.
Yes.
Commissioner Warren.
Yes.
Okay, and the motion passes 6-0 with 1 absent.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item 5, the consent calendar. Any questions from the commission on any, well, actually, first let me ask, any comments from staff on any consent items? Not seeing any. Any commission questions or comments on consent items? Not seeing any. I will entertain a motion in a second.
CG moves that we approve the consent calendar.
Tyson seconds.
Any public comments on the consent calendar items?
Yes, we have one public comment.
Yes, this is Alan Epstein. I live in the district. I was surprised that item 5F, talking about I-280, the report didn't provide an updated schedule. I would think that normally, if you're going to give an update on the progress with regards to a project, you would indicate progress relative to the schedule. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the comment. Yeah, it's a fairly short one in the packet this month. There really wasn't much to bring it out onto a public announcement, so we'll have more stuff next month as things come in. Is that any other public comments?
And I see no more public comment.
Okay, before we vote, I just want to pull out 2 things just to comment. I think worthy of mention is the fact that the Station 8 agreement with Palo Alto was agreed with Palo Alto, and we want to thank everyone involved with that. That's a huge amount of significant collaboration between us and the fire district and Central Fire and Palo Alto, and we would thank everyone involved with that. And other thing I'll mention is the expansion of the evacuation route hardening. I don't know if anyone noticed that moving into some of the tributaries and the smaller areas is part of it. So that group is a lot of work goes into that. We really appreciate that, and worth comment that's going on. Okay, let's take a vote.
All right. President Sprain.
Yes.
Vice President McDonald.
Yes.
Commissioner Basigi.
Yes.
Commissioner Kadambi.
Yes.
Commissioner Tyson.
Yes.
Commissioner Warren.
Yes.
Right, the motion passes 6-0 with 1 absent.
Thank you. Moving on to item 6, the Fire Chief report for March 2026. This will be Fire Chief Kirkhow. If you could please provide that report.
Good evening, President Spring, Commissioners. I'm going to take a little bit, not a lot of time, but just a little bit more time to unpack a few things in the March report. Again, the organization did go before the commission in Florida in March, and I'm not sure if Chief Glass reported this out last month or not, but we did, after quite a few questions, definitely some questions related to the Palisades fire, et cetera, and what we're doing, working with our partners, did get reaccredited. So that's really a significant milestone for us, and really proud of the organization and the partnerships to get that across. You see there the team approach to fire investigation. What was really interesting in March, although it's not highlighted in the Los Altos Hills County Fire District report, because that's much more tailored to the district, we had a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 pretty significant fires that the organization responded to, and a lot of the investigation and the work that goes through looking for source cause is through Assistant Fire Marshal Jeremy Davis, who I believe has been working very closely with the district. So again, he's just a wealth of knowledge and just a collaborative partner, and just want to highlight that he continues to work to help others learn the art of fire investigation throughout the op area and beyond. Next slide, please. Oh, we do have the City of Los Altos annexation. Again, we are not driving that. The city has submitted their application that was due, I think it was April 2nd. The application has been received by LAHCO, and we are waiting for next steps. As far as the March events, again, for some of the things that we decided, were worthwhile and highlighting was just a couple of 2, in fact, second alarm fires, but more importantly, the special operations training at Gilroy Gardens. Again, what you're seeing over there in the photo is this collaboration that we do with Palo Alto Fire all the way down to Gilroy Fire in helping the firefighters and the team not just learn what techniques there are, but to actually put it in motion and in practical sense and really challenge them. So that was really, again, a first time for us working down in Gilroy Gardens with the expanded footprint of the response service area. You see there the EMAP accreditation and the Emergency Managers Association Anchor Award. Again, highlighting again, we have quite a few very predominant leaders. That's at the Office of Emergency Management. Louis Toma, who's highlighted there, is a county fire employee. He is not a county employee. He is a county fire employee. So these are some highlights of some folks who continue to work throughout the op area in helping communities be prepared in the event of an emergency. Next slide, please. So let's get to the data. And the data really, again, as we continue to refine, we've got Chief Matt, I want to say Matt James, who is now I would say he's the heir apparent for the next accreditation manager. And so as we work through his ability to look at data, to refine the reports, to work in the A&P division to help make it so that it's ingestible, you may see some small modifications in the report as he really kind of gets his feet underneath him in his role in administration planning. But again, for the overall, not a lot of just 80 calls, pretty typical. And then you see, again, about, the majority of calls are medicals, some service calls. We're responding to a significant amount of fire alarms compared to, I think, other months. I'm just going off of memory here. And then, again, what you're seeing down below in terms of our community education is the aggregate for a couple of months. These tend to be slower months for us, but we continue to have preschool programs, station tours, education for CPR and CERT, et cetera. Next slide, please. I want to take a moment. There's a lot of bar graphs here and really talk about call processing time. So what I'm going to try to do over the course of the next few months is try to unpack some of these components. Call processing time for Los Altos Hills County Fire District is what you see it. What I mean by that is for other cities, for example, for Los Altos, who has their own public safety answering point, the 911 call that comes in goes directly to that comm center first. What they do with it, how they transfer it, how long it stays there, we don't really know. We do rely on the partners to get it to us as soon as possible. And then when it gets up to county comm, it gets triaged appropriately. What you see here in the district, in the Los Altos Hills County Fire District, is 911 calls that come and originate from the footprint, the lat long from the district for the most part. It's a little challenging on 280 because people are moving. And so depending on where it hits in terms of the cell tower, it could ping a different intended PSAP. But the majority of calls are accurately captured and start in at county communications and gets transferred in very short order to county fire because it is a shared communication center. So that 1 minute and 30 seconds and 1:27, we continue to work on to lower that time, but that takes some knowledge, meaning that's, again, that chief officer that I mentioned, Matt James, who is working with county communications to see which calls could we remove some questions from, which ones can we send resources to faster so that we have eyes on the incident as soon as possible. For EMS calls, it's pretty simple. As soon as they ask, I think it's 3 or 4 questions, before the call is finished being triaged, we get wheels moving, meaning we run down the station, the crews start moving to get behind the wheel, the engine starts up, and they get on the road. So as they move through toward the location, the dispatcher, or the call taker, I should say, at County Comm, continues to ask questions of whoever the reporting party is. And it is not uncommon for certain areas where the crew will get on scene just as the call completes. And that is one of the things that County Fire does that's a little different than maybe some of our other fire agency partners. For certain call types, in particular EMS, we try to get there as soon as we get enough information to get us moving and out the door so that we can be on scene quickly and assess the situation. So that's really intended just to kind of unpack call processing. Next month, I'll talk about turnouts a little bit, and it's just to give a little bit more transparency in the difference between Los Altos Hills County Fire District and the calls and how they originate for district residents versus potentially some other entities or agencies in the county. Next slide, please. And again, this is the departmental total response statistics. Last month, I know it doesn't seem like it, 31 structure fires may not seem like a lot. The percentage isn't a lot, but they were pretty significant calls. And again, the flex that the organization has to move wherever the resources are needed and then backfill in so that there's always coverage where we have potentially 2 structure fires working at the same time. That's when mutual aid comes in. That's when we call in Palo Alto. Could we backfill their station? Mountain View. Could we, again, this goes back and forth where mutual aid in the county is very robust. And the California mutual aid system is one of the renowned systems throughout in terms of fire service, the United States, and works very well. So with that said, I think there's one more slide, Corey, that just talks about just, again, where we're at. And we're getting ready for wildfire season. I know that's rain out there. There's rain in the forecast tomorrow. I guess there's rain, a little bit of rain next week as well. We're very happy to see that, which pushes out fire season. But in the meantime, we do not forget what is the challenge for California and for Californians, and specifically for folks who live in Los Altos Hills and all of our hillside community, being ready, being set, and being go, and pushing out that information. Our wildfire preparedness workshops that are listed there. We encourage everybody who wants to interact with our team and to try to again learn a little bit more about some of the products within the county and that county fire uses, like our protective action Genesis Aware and Alert SCC. Those are things that we push out on the last page. I know I took a little bit more time than I typically do. I just think it's really important right before fire season to kind of walk through some of these things as we all get ready we have our what's called our op area training coming up. We have our wildfire training, our 3-day wildfire drill coming up. These are the things that they're doing on the operational area side of the house to get ready to be ready to respond to wildfires and other incidents. We're always ready, but we definitely want to dust off some of I think, just our techniques and our tactics and strategies and be ready for wildfire season. And with that said, I'll pause and see if there's any questions.
Thank you so much. Any comments or questions from the commission?
I just wanted to make an observation. I think the new report is in form of the weekly newsletter. Is that true, Fire Chief?
In which newsletter?
Well, the format of the new report is in form of a newsletter with a lot of information beneath what was is explained out, which is really wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I have a quick.
Please.
So I'm just remembering the Palisades fire. We had a lot of rain, and then there was a lot of dry, a lot of foliage that grew, and then there was a lot of dry, weeds and very ignitable kind of foliage that grew, and that, with another lack of rain or whatever it is, started off another conflagration. So my question is, what are we, doing to prevent anything, that weather change, suddenly with all this rain, ending, and suddenly we have a lot of heat like we've had in early spring, which leaves a lot of dry foliage. So what is the, commission, what is the LAHCFD doing?
Well, The first thing I would mention is the Flashy Fuels project, which is new for from just starting from last year of us taking responsibility for at the end of the summer, especially when all that stuff is regrowing, because the town, by the way, right now, as you'll see, is starting to trim the paths, and they do a great job. Love those folks for cleaning the town roadsides up. Come July, August, when the stuff grows back, we're going to the trouble to make sure that thanks to all this rain, we may have a lot of extra stuff growing up. So that's I think one of the
so
newest,
wonderful.
most innovative things going on.
That Flashy Fuels is very, very proactive and wonderful thing that they've thought of here.
Yep.
So thank you.
And any public comments?
I see none.
Okay. Actually, before that, I just want to, first of all, thank you and say congratulations on the reaccreditation. And I wish more of our district residents understood how meaningful that is and how fortunate we are to have a fire agency that meets and maintains those standards, which are really high. And so that's a huge thing and worth calling out. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Okay, moving on to item 7, the report on May 2nd, 2026 Wildfire Community Preparedness Day event.
All right, good evening. We get all this set up. Too much stuff. Thank you for this opportunity to discuss the upcoming wildfire. It's our 3rd annual Wildfire Preparedness Day. It's Saturday, May 2nd. It's right here at the town council chambers here from 1 to 4:30 p.m. A little bit different time this year. Last year, if you remember, we were over at Gardner Bullis. The first year we were here and it rained very much. We're back over here. We are doing a hybrid again this year. We did that last year. So we will have 70 in-person seating and then hybrids pretty much unlimited. Our returning guest speaker this year, we have Dr. Daniel Swain, PhD. And remember, we showed earlier this year that he was named one of the 2025 top 100 next list, recognizing emerging global leaders. He's a climate scientist with the University of California Agricultural and Natural Resources, and he focuses on the dynamic impacts of extreme events, including droughts, floods, storms, and wildfires on a warming planet. So he gives a really clear insight in his presentation, and he's really fun to listen to and learn a little bit about climatology that's not as boring. Joel Lesher from United Policyholders, he's returning for the 3rd year in a row. He's very popular. He talks about the state of insurance for homeowners in California, what the trends are happening, what things are coming along, what people can do to try to retain their insurance, and what to do if they get it on renewal notice. He again has the unique perspective of working for 30 years for the California Commissioner's Office for Insurance, now is in the advocate side in this nonprofit, United Policyholders. And then new to us is a chance encounter at the Emergency Managers Luncheon last year that we honored Mike Salome. We ran into Dr. Cindy Schmidt. She's now volunteering for the Red Cross, but prior to that, she worked at NASA. So she was a program manager for ecology and conservation. So she's going to used geospatial data and technology for natural resource management, fire management, and human health risk. So she's going to talk a little bit about those impacts around wildfire. If you look on your monitors, you can actually see we've hit the map. So the NFPA every year puts up a map of all the organizations or people that are having an event on this day. It's always the first Saturday in May. So you can see there's our little dot and there's the where our location is. Is there another slide, Corey? Yeah, so here again is the flyer. I already mentioned the time. Please, if you're interested in coming, please register. We'd love to see you. If we will have recordings as we did last year, so that out of this event, we will have a nice library of items that residents can go back and look at. Especially in the Firewise communities, it's advantageous. One of the things they have to have for their renewal is to be offered an educational experience. So we're meeting that in doing this presentation. And again, we hope we get great attendance. Any questions?
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah, it's a fun event. And again, my last slide. Sorry, I already kind of went over the speakers. I'm going to be just doing a question and answer Firewise interaction, but the main keynote speakers are listed there. So thank you, Corey, for advancing me. I forgot we had one more. Oh, Dee's doing it. That's right. We're doing a new thing. Dee's doing all of this. So Corey, thank you for making sure Dee does it for me. Thank you. That's all I have.
Any comments? Oh,
Nope. I just signed up myself.
okay.
Yay.
There you go.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any public comments or questions?
I see none.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And moving on to item 8, the partnership for 2 programs for the town of Los Altos Hills. General Manager Logan will be giving us a report.
Good evening, President Spreen, Commissioners, staff, and public. Tonight, I'm really pleased to report on a partnership for 2 programs with the town of Los Altos Hills for emergency management shared services and the tree hazard assessment and rebate program. The acting city manager, Cody Einfalt, and I have been meeting to discuss topics and priorities to form this partnership for new programs that can provide community benefits to residents, fulfill the mission of the fire district, and address priority goals of the town of Los Altos Hills work plan. 2 identified priorities are, number 1, to enhance the emergency management capacity of Los Altos Hills to provide protection and resiliency to residents. And number 2, develop a program to address trees that can cause hazards. These 2 programs need to be explored for development and an operational plan, budget, and deliverables. A process also needs to be developed to analyze the goals, review options on how to proceed, form a clear understanding between the partners, and keep the Los Altos Hills Council and the Board of Commissioners and Santa Clara County updated on a regular basis as to the progress made and steps underway. These objectives will be geared to the capacity of staff to dedicate hours and to manage the new program, along with the current and developed projects and activities already underway in these agencies. I presented the partnership of the 2 programs to the Los Altos Hills County City Council on April 16, 2026. This partnership aimed at enhancing emergency management services and addressing the tree hazard issue. We're strongly encouraged by the council. The item was immediately added to the April 21st Commission agenda packet. A request was made to the finance service area for a budget modification to allocate funds for the FY 26-27 draft budget and was submitted to the Office of Budget Analysis, which we turned in on February 17th. All that occurred between April 16th and today. So let me discuss the partnership, the first program, Emergency Management Shared Services. Conversations are in progress at this time with the fire department, the County Office of Emergency Management, which we refer to as OEM, to utilize their staff member with over 10 years of emergency management experience, and that member would be assigned for a number of hours per week to Los Altos Hills County Fire District and thereby provide a shared services to the town for various emergency management projects. A meeting is scheduled with the town acting city manager, the deputy fire chief, OEM, Los Altos Hills County Fire District to develop the program. The second program, Tree Hazard Assessment and Rebate. The district understands that the town wishes to provide services to residents related to tree hazards for fire protection. This topic was introduced in April of 2026 at the weekly collaboration group meeting. The group has members from the fire department, town staff, district staff. The goal is for the collaboration to develop a tree hazard assessment and rebate program, which will utilize principles of fire science, recent lessons learned from communities who survived wildfire, and adhere to the requirements provided by the Board of Supervisors for a tree program. The district proposes working with a collaboration group to develop the tree hazard assessment and rebate program and report back at future council and commission meetings. The tree hazard and assessment rebate program will nicely fit into our current district home ignition zone, the HIZ, and rebate program. It's also a timely enhancement to the HIZ program based upon current trends and regulations regulated in the Zone 0 California regulations and Department of Insurance guidelines and mitigation of fire hazards in the 100-foot zone of structures. Members of the HIZ service area are also members of the collaboration group, thereby convening an ongoing forum of collaboration for discussion and development of an expanded HIZ program to now include tree hazard assessments in that rebate module. The collaboration group members include Office of the Fire Marshal, Fire Operations, Town Community Development staff, and the district team. The collaboration team was formed to develop comprehensive and collaborative partnership programs that address fire risk problems and propose solutions promulgated from various expert perspectives. So the physical impact and authority of these two programs is to allocate funds for the two partnership programs will be discussed at the meeting tonight under Agenda Item 11A. Both partnership programs will require transparency and completing administrative procedures at the county level and ultimate approval by the Commission and the County Board of Supervisors. It is anticipated that the Emergency Management Shared Services position will require an MOA, which is a Memorandum of Understanding, to the 10-year Fire and Emergency Medical Services Agreement between the district and the Fire Department, review by the county, and approval by the County Board of Supervisors. The Tree Hazard Assessment and Rebate Program will require additional district funds allocated to the draft budget modification that will require county review and approval by the Commission and the County Board of Supervisors. The administrative path to implementing these two programs will require solid organization, participation of the partners, stated goals and deliverables, and demonstration of community benefit that are based on fire science and supported by subject matter experts within the fire department and OEM. I'm in the process of developing these administrative procedures to ensure transparency and accountability for the use of public funds for these two partnerships programs that will be recommended for approval to the County Board of Supervisors. Fiscal impacts will be discussed and determined when you hear Agenda Item 11A to follow this agenda item. The strategic plan impact. The two partnerships fulfill strategic plan goal number 1, which is for prevention, protection, and resiliency to fund, develop, and maintain programs to protect life, property, and enhance safety to build a resilient community. Objective is to support the reduction of hazardous fuels, and strategies include the HIZ program. The two partnerships programs fulfill strategic plan goal number 4, which is sustainability, and that objective is to expand and support regional collaboration and partnership and to maximize best practices in programs and projects. This concludes my remarks, and I would just remind you that there's the memorandum in your packet of this report, and also the report that was delivered to the City Council for Los Altos Hills on April the 16th. That's my report, and happy to answer any questions. We're very proud to be able to present these two partnership programs to you because, as you can see, I've taken some time here. They really blend in nicely with what we're doing. They're not offshoot programs. They are integrated into our already existing programs. So I'm pleased for that and the cooperation that we've had.
Any comments?
Yeah, I was going to make a more observation comment. First of all, I think this is something that is absolutely in line with making the whole town fire hardened, as opposed to just the evacuation routes or just the private lots and stuff like that. We need to address the whole town, and I think this will go a long way in doing that. And I really commend you for getting this done. This is fantastic.
Well, Commissioner, I commend you because you have all along been the voice that says work more with the town.
Yeah, thank you. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just really beyond happy about the fact that you have accomplished this. I think the residents of the town don't really make a distinction between fire district and the town. They just want the town hardened. And I think this goes a long way in doing that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
This is really great. So one other question I have for you. Is there a chance that this might impact the hazard map at some point in the future? If, we have a hazard map obviously now, and it has a huge impact on the insurance available to the residents. Is that a possibility that hazard map might be impacted? I'm not saying it should or shouldn't. I'm just simply asking a question.
Yeah, the premise of the hazard map, and Captain Gluen, you can help me with this, is not what the proactive activities are, but more the topography of the land. Yeah. So
Yeah, precisely. It's things that you really can't change. You know, the fact that it's hills, the fact of the slope, the aspects and the types of vegetation that are present. And then this year it's mostly weather patterns. The accuracy of predicting weather patterns and fire behavior was some of the updating that happened in the current mapping. So it's really it doesn't significantly change by our mitigation efforts specifically.
Clarifying
Yeah.
that. I really didn't realize that. Thank you.
Yeah, what we have to deal with is the topography, the weather, climate.
Yeah.
Those are out of our control. All we can do is deal with the consequences if we don't have good mitigation.
Thank
And these deal with the mitigation.
Proximity to open space is also part of that because you have those large areas. Thanks.
Also, I think there's one other issue.
I'm sorry, we'll get you next.
In
Go ahead.
raised earlier, the issue of the flashy green. I think this will just complement that whole thing and just really want. Anyway, so it's good all around. Thank you.
I'll just mention to you that in your packet tonight, there is a map of the flashy fuels that we just took. And so that mapping, we have new tools now, and we're mapping where the flashy fuels are and how to manage those fuels and the survey that goes with them. So we're increasing our tool level to do the flashy fuels. And in there, I'm hoping to put trees also as a part of that and start blending the trees in. So
that is so amazing. And I really have to say, thanks for diligently working to make sure that our tax dollars actually work for the town. So that's so important. And with the new thing that the tree hazard assessment that you have,
yes,
right now you said it dovetails very well with the HIZ. So I was wondering if, is there a distance, does the distance matter? Because with the HIZ, there is like a distance. But with the tree assessment, tree hazard assessment, is there like no distance constraint?
Okay. Do you want to respond to that?
So the trees, when the perspective of the the perspective of the HIZ, that would still be in the 100 feet of defensible space. So it would be the same. It would be an enhancement to the current program. When we talk about hazard trees, if they're on evacuation routes, those would be able to be evaluated, per case and as they prepare and plan for their evacuation routes. Does that satisfy most of the?
Makes sense. I was just thinking of trees that are really dead and maybe far away from the HIZ, the zone. But if that's, a part of like a fire hazard, that might affect the neighbor's house, for instance.
Yeah, so it is obviously dead vegetation is more flammable than live vegetation, well-kept vegetation. What we're having to do currently is make sure that we address fire science. So the fire science says we want to keep the fires out of the built environment, out of the homes, out of the structures. So yes, land burning is land burning, and it is important to extinguish those fires. But the main priority in the HIZ assessment is to look at how we defend the home, how the home becomes its own temporary refuge. So that's where the focus is currently. Secondarily, that we would probably look at the egress and access to the home, so the driveways and the roadways in front, because we have a lot of private areas. So if we looked at expanding, we'd probably look for those places next before we go on to open property to apply fire science and safety procedures. Thanks.
Thank you so much for doing all this. It's so diligent and proactive. I'm like thinking of the flashy fuels. I was thinking of the rains. We were very grateful for the rains, but then having a map there is incredible. So, keeping tab of all these things gives a sense of security to the residents. Thank you again.
Any comments? Any public comments?
I see none.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 9. This is an informational update on the RFSOQ for engineering services, and this will be a report from Operations and Administrative Manager Fairman.
Good evening, President Spring, commissioners, fire district staff, and members of the public. So tonight, as you mentioned, I'm going to provide an informational update on the request for statements of qualifications for professional engineering consulting services, and this item will not require an action by the Commission. The Los Altos Hills County Fire District is responsible for the operation and maintenance of 552 fire hydrants and their appurtenances, located within its jurisdiction. After a search for engineering vendors, the district entered into a professional services agreement with Fryer and Loretta in June 2020 to provide on-call engineering consulting services related to the operations, maintenance, and administration of the hydrant water system that connects to the Purísima Hills Water District water mains. The professional services agreement with Fryer and Loretta expires on June 30th, 2026. The request for statements of qualifications will solicit services for a broader array of projects and operational needs in addition to the current on-call hydrant services. On April 2nd, 2026, the district issued a solicitation for a request for statements of qualifications to retain a professional engineering consulting firm to provide a range of services, consulting services related to professional services. The request for statements of qualifications has been published through Bidingo, the County of Santa Clara's electronic procurement system, and proposals are due on April 23rd, 2026. This item supports Strategic Plan Goal 3, infrastructure, and the objective to preserve and develop physical and digital assets that support life, safety, and property and district operations, and the initiative to maintain and manage district-owned hydrant system and the related strategic plan strategies. This concludes my presentation. Let me know if you have any questions.
Oh, sorry. Okay, any public comments?
I see none.
Okay, great. In that case, thank you very much. We will move on to item 10, which is approval of reimbursement agreement for costs related to district-owned hydrants for the Purísima Hills Water District, West Fremont, and St. Francis Water Mains Improvement Project. It'll be our same speaker.
Thank you. Yes, item 10 is going to require an action from the commission tonight after I complete my presentation. As I mentioned on my previous item, Fryer and Loretta provides on-call engineering services for the Los Altos Hills County Fire District. So when Purísima Hills Water District proposes a capital improvement project to replace some of their existing water infrastructure that affects district-owned facilities, the district and our consultant, Fryer and Loretta, reviews the provided design drawings and performs a site walk with the Purísima Water District to review the proposed improvements. On June 3rd, 2025, a site visit was held to perform the pre-design review of the project area to confirm district-owned infrastructure conditions and provide direction to Purísima Hills Water District for construction work to relocate existing fire hydrants, replace existing fire hydrants that may have been determined to be at the end of their operational life, or add new hydrants to enhance fire suppression opportunities. Purísima Hills advertised this project and received 10 construction bids. They awarded the project to the lowest responsive bidder per the state code for public works contracts. The Purísima Hills letter of February 19th, 2026 to the Fire District provides an updated project scope that includes 10 new fire hydrants, 4 existing fire hydrants to be reused and relocated, installation of 2 new bollards to protect select fire hydrants, 1 new retaining wall to allow a level surface for select fire hydrants, and traffic control associated with the aforementioned work. The total cost based on the lowest responsive bidder is $246,600. The action required from the commission tonight is to approve the reimbursement agreement with Purísima Hills Water District in an amount not to exceed $246,600. And this has been approved by District Council as to form and legality. Final cost will be invoiced to the district, and district shall pay the actual cost related to the district-owned hydrants. No expenditures will be made by the district to fund Purísima Hills Water District's portion of the construction project. Thank you. That concludes my presentation. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Any questions on this? Okay, let's go, take a motion and a second to approve.
President Spreen,
Yes.
I think Finance Manager
Oh.
Moriali would like to say something
Absolutely.
on this as far as that's quite a large ticket, $243,000. So he wants to talk on the budget.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Appropriation.
Go ahead, Russ. Yeah.
Yes, President Spreen, members of the commission. You may notice it's a large dollar amount, $246,000. And if you look at the financials for this evening, you'll see that we've already spent about $70,000 out of a $223,000 budget for fiscal year 25-26. So having said that, we will be using contingency for this amount. We have a contingency in projects and programs of $775,000. So we will be dipping into contingency as well. We also have some other deferred payments that are still coming through the pipeline for hydrants. So I know many years we've said we've come in under budget. In this particular year, in the area of hydrants, we actually will come in over budget and use contingency, and we'll evolve that during the next month or two as those come through. So I wanted to bring that to your attention because you can see clearly the amount in this staff report is over the line item for that particular project, but we have contingency to cover it.
Thank you very much for that clarification. It's very helpful.
Thank you.
Any other comments? I'll take a motion in a second.
Commissioner Kadambi seconds.
Who got the motion? Kadambi motion.
Moves, yeah.
Who's the second?
Warren moves the second.
Thank you. Any public comment?
I see none.
Great. Thank you. We'll take a roll call.
Okay. President Spreen.
Yes.
Vice President McDonald.
Yes.
Commissioner Basiji.
Yes.
Commissioner Kadambi.
Yes.
Commissioner Tyson.
Yes.
Commissioner Warren.
Yes.
And the motion passes 6-0 with one absent.
Thank you very much, everybody. Moving on to item 11, the fiscal year 27 draft budget. Let's see. Item 11A is to approve an adjustment to the fiscal year 27 draft budget. 11B is the fiscal year 27 budget status update. Finance and IT Manager Moriali will be providing us this report.
Yes, President Spreen, Vice President McDonald, and members of the commission, good evening. We are speaking about the budget this evening, and typically this would essentially just be an update. But if I refer back to General Manager Logan's staff report, which he just gave on item number 8, we are looking for a budget adjustment this year as well. We're proposing, in essence, an increase to the budget of $109,000, and that would be applied to the HIZ line item under projects and programs for the 26-27 budget. So that's what the action item is this evening. And then after this discussion of the budget adjustment, I'll also provide just an overall update as to how the budget is going in general at this point in the year. Next slide. Next slide, please. What you have in your packets is essentially a staff report that describes the reason for the budget change. But I also took the opportunity to update some key charts in the staff report that typically appear in the narrative. That is the budget itself, and I'll go through the numbers in a minute in a later slide. But I also want to bring to your attention that the change tonight really moves to enhance life and property allocations. You might recall this chart to the very right, the pie chart last time indicated 75% and 25%. That 109,000 moved at 1%. So it's 76% of all allocations goes to life and property safety allocations and 24% to admin. We're essentially very close to the budget that we had last time, but that 109,000 just moved us 1 percentage point in that regard. And later I'll talk about total expenditures and total revenues. And next slide, please. And by the way, for the commissioners, you can ask questions anytime in this presentation. So in essence here, and I don't need to repeat what General Manager Logan indicated, we have this enhancement to the HIZ program, specifically for the enhanced trees rebate program. And that is now displayed on a revised Exhibit A. And that will then be provided to the county following the meeting this evening. And so what happens with that $109,000 adjustment The prior budget indicated $491,000 in the HIZ line item. With this budget adjustment, this will bring us up to $600,000. And the thought is, even though these numbers are still in the planning phases, at least our estimates indicate that we brought it up to $600,000 to accommodate both the core HIZ and also this enhancement that will develop as it's planned and documented and approved over the next month or two. So it changes that line item from $491,000 to $600,000. This Exhibit A that you see on your right will be sent to OBA tomorrow as an indication of our aspirational desires to make this budget change. And next slide, please. I think it's key to note, though, that the county will be issuing their May 1st recommended budget. And that is scheduled for just about 2 weeks from now or so, or a little less than 2 weeks, I imagine. When that May 1st recommended budget comes out, this $109,000 adjustment will not be in that recommended budget. The county is well down the road of having developed, and they're in the process of publishing the recommended budget. So what we will expect to happen is that once we submit this to the county, we believe they will submit it for adjustment between recommended on May 1st and ultimate adoption in June. Of course, I need to mention that this is fully and completely up to the approval process at the county level. As we expect them to hopefully approve our initial budget 26-27, we would hope that they also will include this adjustment. All indications are that they will. But having said that, as you know, we are completely dependent upon the County Board of Supervisors approving these dollars and in essence also approving the essence of the program as well. And next slide, please. So if you may recall, last time I issued a chart that indicated how the budget changed from January. And now this indicates the total changes since January. When we came back to this commission on February 17th, we actually lowered the budget by $215,000, and we made those cuts in regard to the challenges that the state and county are going through at this time. Now we added the $109,000 increase, so there's still a net decrease from what was originally issued in January, but this in essence is how you would reconcile between that original first draft that this commission saw and now what I would call the revised final draft that we will be sending to the county. And next slide, please. So with that, if we look at the total numbers, what we have with this $109,000 change, revenue has not changed. It's $19.18 million. The allocations increased to 22.28, and this budget is projecting a use of fund balance of $3.1 million and an estimated ending fund balance of $46.59 million. So if you do the math, that $109,000 percolates through all those numbers, but that in essence is now the new fiscal impact of the revised final draft budget at the commission level. So with your approval this evening, we will consider this final draft budget to have these new numbers, and again, we'll forward that to OBA for their consideration in May and June. Next slide, please. So what are the next steps? We've submitted our original budget from February 17th to OBA. On May 1st, the county will issue the recommended budget. We're waiting for that in anticipation, and we hope that our fiscal year 26-27 budget, as approved by the commission, remains intact on that May 1st recommended. But we really don't know at this point in time. And at this point, with the county does not let us know at this point, but we can tell you that things are going well in our discussions with the county. But nonetheless, nothing's guaranteed until that May 1st date. The arrow here is a little off in terms of the potential $109,000 adjustment. The arrow actually should be between May 1st and the May hearings. So again, the May 1st recommended will reflect what was approved on February 17th. And the $109,000 will fit somewhere in between May 1st and the June hearings as well. In terms of the other enhancement that General Manager Logan spoke of, and that is the EMS services, we fully expect those numbers and those discussions to evolve post-June adoption. We suspect that's when that will happen. And that potentially could be introduced into the 26-27 budget after June and potentially in July and August through an MOU that is stricken with Santa Clara Fire District. So that's what we think will happen with that other discussion of enhanced services through Central Fire. And next slide, please. So where are we now in terms of our budget discussions since we last presented in February? We are on schedule. We've been meeting with OBA, the Office of Budget and Analysis, for several times over the last several weeks. We are on schedule. We've provided all the reports. They've been delivered to them. They've confirmed that they have everything they need. They've also asked us on this next meeting in May to actually create what's called a formal employee position roster. It's basically a supplement to the adopted narrative. We have positions listed in the narrative, but this will formalize what they would call a position roster. So that's something you'll see new in May. It doesn't change the numbers. It basically just increases the transparency in terms of our positions, and it allows the county also to make this congruent with their process. In terms of our reconciliation, we have reconciled to the county has reconciled to our budget and vice versa. There is a small difference of $500, which we ultimately will correct and modify in our June adoption with the commission. And of course, at this point in time, the $109,000 is different than what they will have in the recommended. But if the $109,000 gets approved or gets included and the $500 is adjusted, we are in full reconciliation at this point in time. We're on pace, but again, there's no guarantees. And I might remind the commission that when the county looks at our budget, they go back to last year's baseline. And last year's baseline is about $18.2 million. They will then look at all our requests, and the requests have been all identified in our budget narrative, and they will take those requests one at a time, and then through the hearing process, approve them. If they are all approved, we will end up with the $22.28 million that you see on the Exhibit A and the charts this evening. Next slide. Lastly, the last piece to talk about with the county, and this won't start until the first or second week of May, is we talk to them about rollovers. And I remind the public and I remind the commission that the rollovers are significant. They will equal about $6 million, maybe a little bit more. So those discussions will take place with the county in May. We see, fair weather seas in this regard, but at the same time, that's another big step in the process, and we'll keep the commission updated as those discussions continue. Next slide. So with that, that's the end of the presentation, and this is the action that's being requested this evening, and we're available for any questions that you might have.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Any comments or questions here? George?
Yeah, thanks for that update. Also for the slides, they had some info I hadn't seen before, and so I think you've appropriately alerted us to the uncertainty in working with the county and knowing when things will be approved. I also appreciated hearing about the $109,000 compares to the 215 or so thousand that was a reduction. Mm-hmm. But overall, I would just say I'm glad that we're working so methodically and that we're working well with the county. I feel like this 109,000 is a start. I think it's directionally the right way to go in terms of a process. And when I look around this town, I see a lot of things that strike me as being trees worth mitigating. So, but you got to start from somewhere. And so I approve of this, and I think it's a substantial, but hardly the end of the investments we'll be wanting to make in this field. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and Commissioner Tyson, thank you for that comment. And I should mention that in the staff report, I indicated that when we increased the HIZ program from 300,000 to 491,000 in the 26-27 budget. We did so because we're seeing trends increase. So that was a reaction to trends and demand increasing. We also had this possibility of talking about an increase in the rebate amount. But we believe with the $600,000 allowance, hopefully will accommodate both of these factors, yet to be determined. But in a sense, it's a placeholder, but you're right. It's a placeholder that hopefully will facilitate this program if and when it's approved.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Any public comments?
Yes, we have one public comment.
Okay.
That's from Alan Epstein.
I just want to mention that the budget contains a $600,000 contingency in the program and project area. So even if the $109,000 wasn't approved from a budgetary standpoint, in addition, it doesn't mean that the district wouldn't have sufficient funds in its budget to proceed with the program, assuming the program was approved. Also, I just have a question. It doesn't look like the figures for the estimated actual for the FY26 have been updated. I just wanted to confirm that that was the case. Thank you.
Yes,
Russ,
you are.
that question?
Yes, you're
Okay.
correct. If you're referring to the rollovers, Mr. Epstein, yes, that rollovers reflect where we were as of the last meeting, if that's what you're asking. Those still will be updated and they'll evolve as we approach June.
Great. Thank you, Russ. Appreciate it. Okay. In that case, I'd be open to entertain a motion for item 11A to approve adjustment to the fiscal year 27 draft budget. And a second.
Warren moves to approve the adjustment to the draft 26-27 budget.
Kadambi seconds.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion on it? Seeing none, let's take a roll call.
Okay. President Spreen,
Yes.
Vice President McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Basiji,
Yes.
Commissioner Kadambi,
Yes.
Commissioner Tyson,
Yes.
Commissioner Warren.
Yes.
The motion passes 6-0 with one absent.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Morale. Really appreciate it. Moving on to item 12, personnel. General Manager Logan will be presenting us these items.
Agenda item 12A through 12D are to discuss and consider action for 4 employment agreements. There are 2 proposed amendments and 2 new positions. 2 new position descriptions and employment agreements. California Government Code Section 54953C3 requires the Commission to orally report a summary of the proposed compensation changes before taking final action to adopt that compensation, here by approving the employment agreements. Key components of the proposed compensation are described in detail in the proposed employment agreements included in the agenda packet. The first item is 12A, is the proposed second amendment to the Community Education Risk Reduction Manager Employment Agreement, which is included in the agenda package. The proposed second amendment to the at-will full-time exempt agreement will be effective May 1st, 2026, and includes the following compensation. Wages sets the annual compensation at $220,646, which is equivalent to approximately 106 8 cents per hour. All other compensation and benefits remain unchanged. Recommend approval of this item.
Thank you very much. Any questions here? Any public comments on the item?
See none?
Having a motion in a second, please.
Basiji move that we approve this enthusiastically.
Tyson seconds.
Thank you very much. Let's have a roll call.
Okay. President Spreen,
Yes.
Vice President McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Basiji,
Yes.
Commissioner Kadambi,
Yes.
Commissioner Tyson,
Yes.
Commissioner Warren.
Yes.
All right, the motion passes 6-0, one absent.
Thank you. Moving on to 12B.
Item 12B is the proposed fifth amendment to the Operations Project Manager Employment Agreement, which is included in the agenda package. The proposed Fifth Amendment is to the at-will part-time hourly agreement, includes the following compensation. Wages, effective May 1st, 2026, sets the rate of pay at $90.31 per hour. Hours of work, effective July 1st, 2026, and subject to approval by the County Board of Supervisors. Hours of work may average up to 104 hours per month or 1,248 hours annually. Annual compensation not to exceed amount, effective July 1st, 2026, and subject to approval by the County Board of Supervisors. Compensation shall not exceed $112,706.88 on an annual basis. All other compensation and benefits remain unchanged. I recommend approval of this item.
Thank you very much. Any comments? Could I have a motion in a second?
Kadambi moves to heartily approve.
There you go.
McDonald seconds.
Thank you. Any public comments? Seeing
Seeing none?
none,
No.
let's take a roll call.
Okay, President Spreen,
Yes.
Vice President McDonald.
Yes.
Commissioner Basiji.
Yes.
Commissioner Kadambi.
Yes.
Commissioner Tyson.
Yes.
Commissioner Warren.
Yes.
And the motion passes 6-0 with one absent.
Thank you. Moving on to item 12C.
Yes, item 12C is to approve the position description and authorize execution of an at-will part-time temporary IHFR, Integrated Hazardous Fuel Reduction, Operations Specialist Employment Agreement. The proposed agreement and position description are included in the agenda packet. The agreement is effective May 1st, 2026 to no later than October 31st, 2026, with an average of up to 80 hours per month and includes the following compensation. Wages, sets the rate of pay at $120 per hour. Total compensation during the term of the agreement shall not exceed $62,400. Benefits, the position will receive certain benefits including sick leave accrual of 1 hour earned per 30 hours worked up to a maximum accrual of 80 hours. Accrued paid sick days can be used the beginning of the 90th day of employment with no more than 40 hours used in any 1 year of employment. Uniform allowance of up to $1,500 for specific items identified in the proposed employment agreement. The proposed employment agreement does not provide material stipend, vehicle stipend, vacation, holiday pay, medical benefits, or retirement benefits. District provides laptop and supportive equipment necessary for performance of duties. I recommend approval of this item.
Thank you very much. Any comments or questions? I take a motion and a second.
Warren moves to approve 12C.
Tyson seconds.
Thank you. Any public comment? If not, we'll take a roll call.
Nope, I see none. And we've got President Spreen.
Yes.
Vice President McDonald.
Yes.
Commissioner Basiji.
Yes.
Commissioner Kadambi.
Yes.
Commissioner Tyson.
Yes.
Commissioner Warren.
Yes.
And the motion passes 6-0 with one absent.
Thank you. And finally, moving on to item 12D.
Yes, is to approve the position description and authorize execution of an at-will part-time temporary program specialist 2 employment agreement. The proposed agreement position description, the proposed agreement and position description are included in the agenda packet. The agreement is effective April 27th, 2026, no later than October 31st, 2026, with an average of up to 80 hours per month and includes the following compensation. Wages, sets the rate of pay at $70 per hour. Total compensation during the term of the agreement shall not exceed $36,400. Benefits. The position will receive certain benefits including sick leave accrual of 1 hour earned per 30 hours worked up to a maximum accrual of 80 hours. Accrued paid sick leave days can be used beginning the 90th day of employment with no more than 40 hours used in any 1 year of employment. Uniform allowance up to $1,500 for specific items identified in the proposed employment agreement. The proposed employment agreement does not provide material stipend, vehicle stipend, vacation, holiday pay, medical benefits, or retirement benefits. District provides laptop and supportive equipment necessary for performance of duties. I recommend approval of this item.
Thank you very much. Any clarifying questions or comments? If not, I'll take a motion in a second.
Warren moves to approve 12D.
McDonald seconds.
Donald second. Thank you. If no public comment on this, we'll take a roll call.
No public comment. So President Spreen.
Yes.
Vice President McDonald.
Yes.
Commissioner Basiji.
Yes.
Commissioner Kadambi.
Yes.
Commissioner Tyson.
Yes.
Commissioner Warren.
Yes.
All right. And the motion passes 6-0, one absent.
Great. Thank you very much, General Manager. We appreciate all that.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 13, Commission member reports. 13A is an opportunity for commissioners to provide reports or suggestions for any future agenda topics. Any comments from the Commission? Seeing none. Moving on to 13B. This is the notice that the next regular Commission meeting is scheduled for May 19th, 2026, in person and hybrid in these very same Town Hall Council chambers. Any comments from the Commission on this schedule? Is everyone planning to be here, or hopefully will not
I will
traveling?
not be able to attend.
Okay. Sorry to hear that, but appreciate that. Any public comment on the schedule?
See none?
Thank you. In that case, we'll move on to item 14, adjournment. This concludes the April 21st, 2026 regular meeting of the Los Altos Hills County Fire District. This meeting is adjourned at 8:14 p.m. District Clerk Vargas, please stop the recording. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for attending.